Kia ora. Well, after a fairly active weekend of strong winds, we start the week off a little bit more settled. High pressure to the north, generally some much quieter winds, but you can see we've still got a fairly good westerly feed of air pushing more showers on towards that western coast. And this week, I think we're going to keep hold of that volatile springtime weather, but also a pretty good east-west split across the country. As we head through in towards tomorrow for Tuesday, generally a drier story across the North Island, still an odd shower across those western areas, but most of the activity is on that western coast of the South Island. For places like Canterbury, Marlborough stays dry and fine, but in the west we've got those cloudier skies and some wetter weather. We'll also start to see the winds increasing ahead of this next front, which runs up from the south. We've already issued some severe weather watches in terms of both wind through Canterbury on Wednesday, and also some wetter weather as this front moves northwards. Heavy rainfall pushing in towards the ranges of Western, being pushed across by those stronger winds in towards the headwaters of Canterbury and Otago, and some stronger winds through Canterbury, Marlborough, Wellington, Wairarapa, and up in towards parts of, say, Taranaki as well. Something to watch out for as we go through towards Wednesday, a much windier, wetter day. By the end of the day on Wednesday, you can see that band of rain, that front, is around about Marlborough and a Wellington way. But as we head through in towards Thursday, it continues to move northwards. We'll find the wet weather and perhaps one or two rumbles of thunder run up through Taranaki, Waitomo, Waikato and into Auckland by the end of the day. The northwesterly winds have been replaced by cooler southerlies, which brings some showers up through Canterbury and turns to snow over the higher ground of the Canterbury High Country and up towards the ranges of Kaikoura. As we head through towards Friday, we'll find those southerly winds continue to move northwards, keeping more cloud through Tairafti, Hawke's Bay and a few showers there. Drier though out towards those western areas. Another area of high pressure builds back towards us, but it just restarts the cycle with high pressure, and then behind that another front coming in from the south. Ahead of it, strong northwesterly winds, some wetter weather on those western coasts. Very much a rinse and repeat setup over the next few weeks or so. In terms of our rainfall totals, there's that east-west split I was talking about. You can see it's much drier through parts of Hawke's Bay and Wairarapa and up in towards places like the Bay of Plenty. You can imagine with the ranges through here acting as great protection for those areas when the wind's coming in from the south and the west, with the wetter weather on those western-facing coasts. More of a pronounced impact on the South Island. You can see the heaviest rainfall on that western coast, that line of purple there running down through Fiordland and up in towards Westland. But remember that as we head through Wednesday, that rain is accompanied by strong northwesterly winds, which themselves alone will cause issues through parts of the Canterbury High Country. There's a watch out for pretty much all of Canterbury as we head through the daytime on Wednesday. But that wind will also push the rain over the top of the Southern Alps and in towards the headwaters of these Otago and Canterbury rivers, so the watches run through towards there as well. But places like Marlborough, generally a drier story as we head through this week. And in terms of our temperatures, definitely one that's going to go up and down as well. Warmer air gets dragged across by these features, and I think by the time we head towards Wednesday, a bit of that Fern effect northwesters, a very classic story for higher temperatures through parts of Canterbury. Christchurch, 22 degrees Celsius, 20s as well up through parts of the North Island on that eastern coast as we head through Thursday. Short-lived. Once we head back towards the end of the week, we're back to temperatures around about 13 or so by day through parts of Canterbury, and overnight lows back down towards freezing and frosty conditions back with us as we head in towards the weekend. So really this week is very much a epitome of springtime, with plenty of temperatures up and down, wet weather, windy weather, but also the start some nice, clear, calm and settled stories. And like I say, in towards next week, well, it's more of the same. High pressure here in the oranges and the greens and blues showing low pressure, so you can still see that volatile nature. More fronts running across us as we head through towards Monday of next week. Another area of low pressure to the south gives that northwesterly flow of air across the likes of the South Island once more. So still pretty unsettled in towards next week. There are some breaks and some brightness, but I think for this week, keep an eye on the forecast, especially for Wednesday, with some wetter weather moving up that western coast, but some stronger winds out east and some higher temperatures as well. That's it from me. This is from MetService.com.